You're listening to the StoryShout podcast, hosted by Kelsey Jones. We're a weekly podcast dedicated to destigmatizing failure and laughing at our normalcy. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on iTunes.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to StoryShout. My name is Kelsey Jones, and I'm joined here today with Michelle Luna. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So Michelle is one of my longtime friends, like college, back in the day, have some photos that shouldn't see the light of day friends.
100%. Those have been hidden from memory and any timeline. So, yeah.
Right. So I'm so glad you're here. It's fun to do it with friends as well as like people I know professionally, because I think we all suck at something, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My list is long. Trust me.
So, but even though your list is long, what is the thing that you want to talk about today that you suck at?
Yes, I have been my entire life really, really bad. I suck at doing any kind of interior design at all. That even extends to just design, I guess, as a concept. Fashion, but specifically interior design. I don't know how to put the pieces together.
I think I'm not good at it either, but I think Pinterest has helped me. Like I literally will look at a picture on Pinterest and just like literally copy it.
Right.
Like I'll try to, like with my bookshelves, I did that. I'm like, oh, I can organize it by color. But when I do it, like something's always a little bit off. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't exactly look like it should.
Like it should in the picture. Well, yeah, like anything, you see the pictures and you're like, oh, this is how this is supposed to go. So I can do that. It's just putting it together. But then you're like, oh, okay, somebody professionally styled this shoot probably and knows what the little tchotchkes are. Like that's my thing is I can find pieces that look kind of okay separately, but like putting them together and then finding like a shelf for them is just knowing where to put it. Like you want levels and stuff. You lose me when you start talking about levels because I'm like, isn't it just supposed to go on the wall? Like I don't get anything.
Yeah, or like your eye is supposed to follow a direction.
It's supposed to tell. I mean, it's art, so it's supposed to tell a story. But like, I don't know that story. That's not a story I'm familiar with.
You're not fluent in that language.
I'm not. It's an entirely different book over there.
Well, so a struggle with me with the tchotchkes. Can we say tchotchkes? Is that like PC?
I think it's just me. Oh, this is maybe me being bad. I always just took it as meaning, like little statues or
little knickknacks.
Right. But you know what? You bring up a good point. Is it something else? Little figurines. That's what I mean. Like the little statues and different types of, can I say doohickeys? I don't know. That's my other choice.
Well, what I was going to say is, so I'm bad at that, but not like, maybe not for the reason you're bad at it. Like the tchotchkes I choose are not like things people should be buying. Like I'm going to literally grab it. I know we're on video. Okay. So I just broke his horn off.
No.
Okay. So I have this unicorn. And I just literally real time broke his horn off.
Real time.
This is a tchotchke that called to me.
Oh my gosh. So,
this is not cute. Like this is not like gonna be in Architecture Digest. It's black for everyone listening, and there's a gold horn and gold eyes, and it's this huge like porcelain unicorn that I just broke his horn.
The unicorn, I almost called him a horse, I guess he kind of is now. He looks defiant though, like he looks triumphant. So it's, if you are gonna have a unicorn statue, you want one that has his arms up like that and legs, I guess. And
that's true.
Yeah. True. No, I totally that. And can I say, just as knowing you, that's absolutely a Kelsey decoration, and I love it. Like yep.
I mean, here's another tchotchke I'm showing, or doohickey, knickknack. I got this in San Diego, but like I like things that are really random, but they call to me for a reason. But I know in interior design, it should be more about like the colors and the scheme of the room.
Right. And like, I get those as a concept, and I make it sound like I'm like sitting on like a refrigerator box or something, which, if I chose to, that would be great. But it's not to that extent. It's just like very like incredibly basic. Let me make sure I have these furnitures in here. And then there's like pictures of my family on the wall and stuff. So there are things there. I just think there could be more, and there could be more thought put into it too, and how it's set up.
So you have furniture, but do you have
Yeah.
like decorative element? Like, do you have throw pillows? Do you have like a blanket that's like folded across the couch?
I do have those things, and I get very excited. I don't know that I should be as excited as I am when I get them, but I have throw pillows and like a nice throw blanket on my bed now. I got a new headboard because before I did not have a headboard. I had like, the base and it was all elevated. It was off the ground, thank God. But like, I just didn't have anything else. And it was fine. Like, that's the thing is I was like, I know I don't need these things. So it's just me. So I'm like, I don't care about it. But then, I started, looking at other things, and I was like, I want to have a headboard. I want to throw something. So it's a long way to say that, I have a couple, I'm very proud of the throw pillows that are on my bed now. I have a bright orange blanket that's there that is actually too warm for. So that's the other thing. Seasonal things. You're supposed to like switch out your blankets for when it's summer, which makes sense because, it's the hottest ever here in Kansas. And so I get it. It's all functional, but it's just I'm like, I just got the winter stuff on there. Like, you're telling me I have to find a summer thing now? Seems like a scam.
Yeah, like I have a couple of friends. I don't know why we're friends, but they do. I'm just saying that because like they're so extra. Like, why are they friends with me? They do seasonal pillowcases. So like
nice.
they have the same throw pillows, but then like for Christmas, they have some Christmas pillowcases they put over the throw. I want to be that person, and I'm just
same.
I'm not.
No, same. Like, you go into a space like that, especially when you're talking about holiday stuff. You go into a space like that, and you're completely you love it, right? Like, you're at ease. You're like, oh, right, it's Christmas, it's Thanksgiving, it's whatever holiday it is, and it feels like that. And you think about childhood and all your best memories, or when things felt extra festive. And I totally get that. And it's funny too that you say like, oh, I don't know why I'm friends with these people. Like, my actual best friend is an interior designer.
Oh yeah.
So it's so funny to me, the fact that he does this for a living. He went to school for it. He's so good at it. He's just incredibly talented. And I am the opposite of that in every way. I'm just always like, here's this plastic frame that was like $2 at Dollar Tree. What do you think I could put in it? And he's like, well, it can go back in the store. No, it works. It works.
I know. And I, like I said earlier, even just looking at pictures, you think that you could get it, but I think you really do have to have like a knack for it. It's not something you can copy off a picture, because I've thought about, maybe I could just get some design books from the library and they would suddenly teach me. But I don't, like, there is a gap between like reading and actually having a knack for what looks good together.
It feels too like when I try to put something together, and this is, I think, just my indecisive part probably showing up, but like, I'll put something together for a while, and then I'll immediately a week later be like, oh no, that actually looks stupid. Like, let me go ahead and rearrange it. And so I'll mess with it a few times before I'm just like, actually, I'm taking this into a completely different room. And it's wild, the hoops that I'll go through to be like, oh, this looks good. Oh no, it doesn't actually. I actually hate this a lot.
Yeah, I've done that too, where I love something and then like a month or even years later, I'm like, wow, this is terrible. Get this out of my sight. I can't stand it.
Well, and that ties too into like how I mentioned earlier. I mean, I don't think it's all design, like fashion and how you decorate your house and stuff. It's all a form of design. And I feel like I do that same thing with clothes. Like, I think I can like pick out things that look fine together, but I'm not ever gonna, show up at what's that thing that they have? The Met Gala.
Oh yeah.
Never getting an invite to that. I'll be like Jason Derulo and fall down those stairs because I won't know what to wear. I will be yeah, so that extends to wardrobe for me personally as well. I just don't have that knack. I wish I did.
Well, I think you always look really nice, but I do envy the people that kind of have an eclectic style and it just really works,
Mm-hmm.
like people who mix patterns together, but it
Mm-hmm.
works and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
I just don't have that. And I don't know if it's a level of like you just don't care and that confidence comes through.
I think that's what it has to be. And I wouldn't even say that it's a thing of like I care too much. It's just I will always err on the side of, is it a t-shirt? Like, how am I going to be moving in this thing? Is it outside? Do I need to have my hair up? Like, am I going to be sweating? I just always err on that side of design when it comes to fashion. But I've been trying to kind of expand my horizons with that and try different things. I also think I'm aging into just like, I don't know. That's a whole different, I think, subject, but I'm just aging into like not caring. like,
Yeah.
like, I don't, who am I impressed? Like, I'm not trying to impress anybody. So,
Yeah. I think, but I think with interior design and wardrobe as well, it's almost like a way to tell people about you. And so,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
like what would your ideal style be like with your house or in, if you had to tell a story?
Yeah, it would be a mix, I think, between I like very clean things. I don't mean like tidy wise, because go figure, I'm also terrible at keeping things tidy. But look wise, like I don't want a lot of clutter. I would like things to just sort of have its home, and then that's where it lives. And then everything else is just sort of there. But I have a lot of. I do like pictures. I think I got that from my mom. I like having like family pictures and stuff up, and I have a lot of photos of my grandparents when they were like younger, my
Oh,
parents even too now when they were married, and like just older stuff that I want to find like a better way, because I have them up and they're fine, but I want to find a cooler way to, I think, incorporate them into a design. So something clean, but also that sort of hints at like a family history.
yeah.
Is that an option?
I like that. That's cute. Well, and you've seen like walls of collages, that have a bunch of art. It's like mixed
Mm-hmm.
art and photos. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that can be done really well. I just don't know how to do it.
Or like the gallery walls.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how many times, because I have actually this giant wall behind me. There's nothing on it. Like it's a huge wall. And so I've been like, okay, I'll put, maybe I'll like do wallpaper or something up there, or it's actually the perfect space for a gallery wall. And so for a while I was like, I have actually in my room a bunch of frames that I had such a grand plan to put them together and it was going to look great, but the space is so big that, or the wall space at least is so large that it felt like it felt like a futile effort given what I thought it was going to look like. And that's me, I think, talking myself out of
Just
just
doing it.
just put it up. Yeah, it can't look any worse than the nothing that's on there now.
Right. Right. That's true. Well, and when you're saying gallery wall, it made me think about like how people have like quotes and sayings and like word art. And so I was
Hmm.
talking with some other friends and we were joking about that like some people go overboard. And I was like, oh yeah, that's so funny. And then I realized like I think every room in my house has some like quote or something. And I'm that person that they were making fun of basically. So
You're like, yeah, I can't stand those
yeah,
people. I have to leave
yeah,
unrelatedly. And does anybody have a ladder? No, I think, I mean, it's the idea of making, I think, just a space yours and whatever that is. Because I have absolutely made those jokes too. Like just recently, my friend Raquel they just moved into a new house and we were talking about decorating. I feel very lucky that she shares. We both have no talent in terms of interior design. And so we were discussing those quotes, like getting just those wall decals and
yeah,
just having like a whole live, laugh,
yeah,
love wall. And so, it's a nice way to make up space. And I don't, everybody, it's your house. Like put up what you want to put. I am truly no better than anyone else judging those quotes with my nothing on my wall. Like good for you for committing to
right,
something. Like I applaud that.
right. I feel like I chose quotes that made me laugh or but weren't like live,
Yeah.
laugh, love. And
Yeah.
I think you're right that it's like personal to everybody. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure. It's your home. And that's honestly why I want to get better at it, is because, like, especially after not after, because it's still happening, but the pandemic, like being at home really, I read some articles about it too, but like being at home, you want your space to feel comfortable. You want it to be like a reflection of who you hope to be. And so I do want it to be like look cooler, maybe not even cooler, that's not the right word, but just like look more like how I think I would like for it to look when I come home. Like, yeah. So that especially brought it to the forefront.
that's a good point. It's like a reflection of who you want to be in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's a lot of like, I'm getting too psychological. I'm like, how much of this goes back to like, because my mom is way better at interior design than I am. She's like so good at filling spaces and walls, like to the point that it's a lot sometimes for my personal nothing space. So I always question how much of me not knowing how to do this was just me being like, I refuse to learn because there's stuff everywhere.
Okay, I have mine, but what is your like favorite kind of like weird thing your mom has like to decorate in her home? Like some weird item? Because I instantly thought of mine.
Does it have to be year round? Because
Oh,
mine is
no.
seasonal.
Oh, that might make it better.
She has, it's two things actually. One is a giant, not mechanical, is it automatronic? That's the word.
Oh, yeah.
Santa that you press and it sings any number of Christmas songs. It's like 6 feet tall. It's terrifying. She's had it for years and
Yeah.
years and years. So she has that, and then she has a little nativity scene with a button that plays the most dramatic music and has very bright light, and it tells the story of the first Christmas and of the manger and all this stuff. And
Whoa.
it's all very my mom, and so I think that's why I like it so much, because it's just like, yeah, no, my mom would have those things. Like the only person who would have a plethora of those things just at the ready as soon as it's December 26th or whatever the day is after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I love
What's
that.
yours?
Okay, so my mom, in her guest room, there is like a cord, I think, to a lamp or something, and you see the cord, like there's no way not to see the cord, like because the side table, there's not an outlet behind it. So she has to plug in the lamp like to the adjacent wall, so you see the cord. So she put this like cover on the cord that's like satin. It's like she bought a like cord cover because the regular cord is too ugly. So it's like this tan, like wrinkly, like taffeta cord that she took the time to buy and put on the cord.
Like measure for the cord itself.
Right. Like I think of the effort that it took to like go search and be like, I cannot fucking stand this cord. God. And like
Can't
search on
move it.
Amazon or whatever. Yeah. What can I do to make this cord more decorative? And it looks like it looks like a scrunchie. That's I was trying to think like a satin scrunchie, but it's the cord for the lamp because you can't have a plain cord.
Is it not iridescent, but is it that like
yeah, like satiny, like
yeah,
silky material?
satiny, yeah. I guess that's what you said. Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. So I don't know if that doesn't really encapsulate her style, but that was something that I saw and I was like, I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, I wasn't aware.
I understand like her reasoning. She just wants the room to look nice, but was it needed?
It makes sense.
I guess I don't know how ugly the cord was. Like maybe it's just too hideous to be shown in the light of day.
Compare it, right? Like, is this something we can live with, or do we need to zhuzh it up a little bit?
Yeah, and she decided it wasn't something.
She was like, nope, I've had wasted too many years on open cords. We're done with that. We are decorating
not have that growing up. She only had that like up to 2 years ago. So I don't know like what changed in her life that she was like, no, not anymore.
I'm not going back. Yeah. Not going back. I've done that.
Yeah, and so
I'm
now
evolving.
Right. And now I want to put like I think that's the only known place that I know of that she has the cover. And now I'm like, well, where else do cords need covers? I mean, I want to like
if we're gonna do it, let's do it right.
I want to add them to all the cords in her house.
I like the idea too. That's something you could make seasonal, not to harp on the seasonal, but like, you guys could switch those out.
Like a
4th of July is
Christmas
coming
one.
up. Yeah, put an American flag on one and, let freedom ring inside.
That's
You
true.
will not
That's
trip
true.
on the cord.
That's true. I should pass that along to her. I do see our neighbors across the street, they change out their front porch lights according to the season.
Oh,
So
that's
like 4th
cool.
of July, there's a blue and a red light. And then
Mhm.
Halloween, it's purple and orange. And I'm like, I love that.
My neighbor's catty corner, they have like those bulb lights like strung across their yard, and they do something similar. Or at least I've noticed they've only been there a little bit, but like red, white, and blue. I remember for the election they did, and red and green holidays. Green, I guess, for St. Patrick's Day. What are the holidays? I don't. This year's turned everything upside
Valentine's
down.
Day.
But yeah, I think that's very cool because it's like an easy thing to do, but you know what it's doing. So
Yeah, but like, would your friend, the interior designer, like approve of this?
no.
Right.
Just from knowing him, he would support their decision to do it for sure if that's ultimately what they wanted. But he would use that smooth talking to try to get them to change their minds.
Now I question everything. Like my cousin, she just got her degree in interior design. And whenever she comes to my house, I'm like, oh God, what does she hate in my house? Like I feel self-conscious.
You
I'm
can't.
like, what is awful?
You can't, because I'll tell you right now, there's no way I could be friends with him if that were the case. Because they live in California, and when I visit their home, him and his husband, it's beautiful, of course. Like, why would it not be?
Of course,
And
yeah.
it's so like well put together. And if I decided to stop like associating with them based on what it looks like when I come home and when I'm there, no. there's a huge disconnect there. So I'm just like, you know what, you guys can take me in my milk box carton lifestyle, and they are wonderful. They absolutely would not have it any other way. But it's nice to see it. Like, it's nice to see things well done. Like, it's nice to see how, this is what it could be if I knew what I was doing, but I don't. So
yeah, you're lucky because your friend doesn't see you as like an ugly cord that needs to be covered up.
Well, that actually I'm sure is up for debate. That I'm sure has been discussed, but no, at least not now. I'm still free to be my cordy. Not me wearing the color of a cord shirt too. This is absolutely metaphor on metaphor on metaphor.
Yeah, because your wall is beige-ish, and then your shirt is like a
My
brownish.
life, Kelsey, is beige. It's just, there's just a lot of beige going on, and that's okay. Beige is okay.
We're not here to make you better. We're
No.
here to just accept you for what you are.
Exactly. I don't have anything on that wall.
Let the cords be free.
Let the cords be
You
know what? I'm going to trip you up. I'm going to trip everybody up, but that's just me being me as a cord. I'm going to just exist. You just need to watch where you're going. Like, don't close your eyes and try to walk over me like that. You're asking for trouble there, but otherwise it'll be fine.
It's not your problem that people think that your cordness is not acceptable.
I'm fine with my cord. Love this extended cord metaphor. It does make me think though of, well, in like a sort of roundabout way, of all of the different things, like, because you were talking about how your mom didn't have that stuff there when you were a kid. I'm thinking about like all of the different things that my mom still has from when I was a kid, because she loves garage sales. She's good at shopping, but she's like good at bargain shopping too. And she got that from my grandma, and I just missed the boat on that, I guess. But I was laughing the other day because I was just thinking about she has this painting, and I'm not sure where it came from. I think it was a garage sale, but it's just this painting of like this like French Revolutionary War like aristocrats just like dining in a grand hall, and it's a big picture. It's not like a small thing. No idea where it came from, but it was in my grandma's house, and then now it's in my mom's house, and I just know the time is coming at one point where it'll be like, well, this is yours now, so you have to find a place for it, and it's gonna end up in my bathroom. Like, it's just gonna end up somewhere, the most random spot, because I won't be able to not put it up. But I'll be like, what do I do with this? Like, I have a lot of
like tradition,
aristocratic art but I will not say no.
Well, do you think your style or like how you want to design your space has changed from when you were a kid?
Yes, there's a lot less Little Mermaid. There's still some Little Mermaid, but um, a lot less. The sheets just don't translate well when you are in your 30s. Um, Other than that, I would say, I mean, I think it's, I used to do stuff a lot with functionality, and I think I still kind of operate in that sense. Like, I always make the joke of like, feel like if you walked into where I live and then like any home housing, like college boys in Lawrence, it would not look entirely dissimilar. Like, it would look pretty similar in the sense that I'm just like, oh, well, here are these things that I'll have a few more pictures. But I think it's changed in the sense, at least recently, that I have, I've attempted things that I maybe wouldn't have attempted in college or when I was younger. I'm attempting to put shelves together. I'm attempting to like make my bathroom look lighter and bring the light in and all that stuff. I pay attention to those things in a way, even if I can't like translate it, I'm at least more aware of it than I think I used to be.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it
Yeah.
and it makes me think about, what are you going to be like in 10 more years? Like, are you just going to have like your shit together in 10 years, or will you still be putting a shelf together?
No, I mean, at this point, I imagine if I can keep anything on a shelf 10 years from now, I will consider that a win. I would like to think, and I think some of it too, like, because a lot of the stuff was basic out of necessity when I was growing up. And so I think it's gotten a little bit more difficult or not more difficult, a little bit easier. Like, now that I am sort of in the position where I'm the adult and I'm like, okay, I can like buy these nice things if I choose to and put them together. So I think as I ease into that, hopefully it will improve. But I'm also just like, because I lived so long with stuff that was just like, hey, here are your basics and the things that you need and you have, and it's so hard for me too to be like, oh, I have to drop X amount on something very, very nice. Like, if I want it, that's very
Yeah.
hard for me still, and that's a whole nother issue. But like, even if I can, I'm still just like, oh, I got to be able to find this somewhere for a little bit less money at least. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah. So but the goal, to answer your question, 10 years from now, is to hopefully be in a place where I'm more comfortable doing that, so that way that can be reflected in my uh home surroundings.
Yeah. I think you make a good point though. Like how we grow up has such an impact on like so many things, and not
Oh
to
yeah.
make, this episode more than it is, but that's true. Like even, now, even though that I have 12 years of experience, like out of college, whatever, 13 years, however long it is, I still like cringe anytime we have to make a big purchase, even though
Hmm.
it's a piece of furniture that I know will last a long time, like
Right.
solid wood or
Right.
a couch that, we've wanted. It is hard to spend that money, especially when it could go towards so many other things.
Hmm. Yeah, I that's a big thing that I'm always just like, oh, where else can I put this? Like, I know I need to add this for my savings and blah blah blah. But you're right. Like, there are things that it is worth it. Like, if it's a good piece of furniture, and then also, a lot of times this is somebody's like art, so you obviously want to compensate them fairly for their art and their
Right.
talent. So it's just, there are things worth spending that money on. I just have to find a better balance, I think, between that, because I will always be the one that's like, that can work as a coffee table, that's fine, like, just throw throw a tablecloth over it. No, get like an actual nice coffee table that you can enjoy as an adult
Right.
human.
Right. I like that. Because I think
Yeah.
when you love something, you do like keep it more, and it makes you
Yeah.
happy than like something you're just making it work,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Completely. Completely. It changes sort of the whole, not just like how you treat it, of course, but it just changes your whole sort of vibe about around where you live. I don't like the word vibe, but you know what I mean. It's just, it sort of relaxes you in a way that maybe you wouldn't have been before, because you're like, oh, this is something I'm actually happy to have in here. I
Right.
enjoy it. It looks nice. I get, I'm happy that it's here, part of my part of my world. Ariel, Little Mermaid, nailed it. Brought it back around.
I know, you sure did. 2 Little Mermaid shout outs in one episode. I didn't think I'd be so lucky.
I know. Can you believe when you woke up this morning?
I think for me, I'm very sentimental. So a lot of the stuff I buy is like because it is sentimental to me, and it's not just purpose for a purpose. So it's hard for me to like buy things that are just strictly utilitarian, like shelving and stuff. I always take forever because to me, that's not something that can be made personal.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I hadn't thought about that, but you're right. Of anything, like you can kind of arrange them in ways to around, but it's usually around something else that is the actual personal thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's a good point. I just hate picking out shelves because I never know which ones I'm supposed to get, and go figure. But it's the levels and stuff, and yeah, it does not work out well for me.
Agreed. Well, so to wrap things up today, I mean, if you went to someone else's home and either their cords were exposed or they were just really bad at design, what would you tell them? What would your thoughts be?
I mean, we would be kindred spirits, I think. I would never in a million years, like if I walked into somebody who I feel like was similar to me, I would just honestly be like, thank God there's somebody else. Like someone else gets what it's like to just not know what to do anything. And I am never going to be the person that's like, oh, you should do this or you should do that. Like, I want everyone to feel comfortable in their homes, whatever that means for them. If it means, throwing a tablecloth over a milk carton, that's perfect. Let's do it. Let's order pizza and eat. So I think I would just feel like we are one. I would feel at one with them.
I love that. That's good. Well, thank you, Michelle, so much for coming on. I know you're not really on social media. I usually ask people if they want to reach out to you on social media, where would they reach you? I know you're on Twitter.
Yeah, I am pretty much only Twitter at this point, but I'm on there my handle is at Loons the Tunes. So if you like a lot of nonsense, I don't ever really say anything of any importance, but if you like a lot of nonsense, that's where I am. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's all Twitter is nonsense, and I love it.
It's all nonsense. Yeah, I'm not going there to be sincere, at least personally.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And thanks to everyone listening.
Thank you.
Don't forget to, like and subscribe and whatever else. We're on StoryShout on all our channels. And until next time, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the StoryShout podcast. Don't forget to review us on iTunes and connect with us on social media at StoryShout or online at storyshout.co. Until next time, stay normal.